The fantasy football news circle hits us hard. Things are changing all the time, left and right, especially this time of the year. We're almost at the trade deadline. Things are going to happen. Kadarius Toney just got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, the most optimal place for most wide receivers. This is Candyland for wide receivers. Kadarius Toney's had a rough 2022 season right now. Hasn't been on the field. Have been dealing with hamstring injuries. He's rostered currently in 23% of leagues per sleeper. Probably less than ESPN and Yahoo. So this is a very interesting prospect going into a very interesting situation here, and a lot of people are going to have their question marks. On the season so far, he's only ran 18 routes. He's been injured most seasons, so we don't have much to work with. But going back to last year, caught 39 balls for 420 yards. He averaged 6 yards after the catch per reception. Ran 60% of his routes in the slot. So he has experience running routes in the slot and on the outside. He posted one wide receiver 1 week last season and has 2 double-digit scoring weeks in fantasy, and that got people salivating over him. This guy cuts on a dime pretty good. He moves well in the open field. Going to his draft profile here, this is another interesting thing about this prospect. He's a first-round player drafted by the Giants in the 2021 NFL Draft. He broke out during his final year at Florida at age 21. His best season was in 2020, where he caught 70 balls for 984 yards and 10 touchdowns. There he averaged 6.8 yards after the catch per reception, 2.62 yards per route run. For his athletic profile, he's 5'11", 193 pounds, 4.43 40-yard dash, has a 64th percentile size-adjusted speed score. So looking at his athletic profile, he's athletic enough to get the job done. And we've already seen this on the field, so we don't need to question that. His profile from college, especially at Florida, late breakout age, late transition. We're seeing a late transition to the NFL game, so it doesn't shock us there. Wasn't overly productive. He didn't produce until his final season at Florida. So this creates ambiguity in what he's going to do at the NFL level. This is an indicator for that. Doesn't mean it would happen, but we're kind of seeing it happen now. We saw this with the Giants. We're seeing this with him being traded, but now we're seeing a wide receiver that we know can do some good things. We saw it on a very small sample last year and can be productive on a very, very small sample, going to a hyper explosive offense that could give him the stimulus to boost his production. When I look at him for a redraft standpoint, you need to have your ear to the ground to him, which means you should have it noted that Kadarius Toney's in one of the best offenses in the league, is in an opportunity where he could produce when he's healthy back on the field, whenever that is. I'm still trying to find the updates on that because he's been nursing these injuries for a while. The coaching staff in New York didn't seem to like him too well. I don't know what went on there. I'm not really going to speculate on that because now we're in a new situation here. But when he's back on the field, taking snaps, running routes, we really want to analyze what's going on. Do we need to pick him up right now? We don't really need to, but we really need to pay attention to him. Is he worth it? It might be if you need a speculation piece on your roster. If you need an upside guy, the risk is heavy here because you don't know what you're going to get. We don't know how well he's going to transition here. We don't know if he's just going to step on the field here in Kansas City and get targeted, or it's going to be like every other single wide receiver goes to Kansas City where they have to kind of prove themselves before Patrick Mahomes starts slinging targets their way. There's also some competition here. It's not one for one, so you don't really need to get him unless you want to speculate on him, because he is a speculation piece. He is in an offense that can allow him to be productive. A lot of people's going to be talking about him, and he has shown on a very small sample that he can be productive. It's just he's got to be on the field. He's got to transition well with the offense. I mean, he's got to learn the offensive game plan. He's got to learn what they like to do. He's got to build a rapport with Mahomes. He's got to do everything right on the field. He's got to do that stuff because that took him time to do that at Florida. Be healthy, do the things on the field, get productive. Taking him some time here at New York. Is this going to be a trend here in Kansas City? We don't know, but we do have a history of this. But we also have a small window of history, a year at Florida, a couple games here with the Giants where he can produce. So he is a guy you need to keep your ear on the ground to. He is a guy you need to pay attention to, but I wouldn't be spending my wad on him. I wouldn't be dropping productive players for him. I would be very cautious with him. Would I be interested? I'm in a lot of leagues, so there's probably some leagues somewhere where I would be, and I probably would get a couple shares just to have some in my portfolio, but I'm also in a ton of leagues where it doesn't matter if he doesn't hit. You also want to look at that. What's your portfolio look like in all your leagues? If you're just in one league and it's a $20 league with your buddies, this probably doesn't even matter to you. If you're in a 20-team league, 14-team league, or something like that, deeper league, deep benches, whatever, you're probably thinking about Kadarius Toney pretty hard because you want that speculation piece at the end of your bench. A lot of different people from all different types of leagues watch this channel, so I want to cater to everybody. If you're in a couple basic $20 leagues, $50 leagues with your friends, coworkers, or whatever, Kadarius Toney's probably a guy that you just want to note, that you want to think about. If you're in a deep league and it's very intense, you may want to just scoop him up just to see. That's if he's available on waivers. He's rostered in 23% of sleeper leagues, so he may not be. It really depends if you're playing with Sharks or you're playing with the coworkers. Really depends. But just navigate your waters lightly. See what you can do. He's not a must-get guy, but he is a guy you must pay attention to going forward because this offense can really turn things around for a player. It might take him some time. We're seeing like a lot of players come to this offense and take a little bit of time before they start showing stuff. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster's starting to show some life. Took Clyde Edwards-Helaire some time to show some life, but he's been volatile, and it just feels like it takes a little bit of time. I don't have any perspectives on this. I'm not in the clubhouse with him, but I'm just trying to guess from what we've seen over the years. But he's a guy that you just want to just pay attention to. Let me know your comments down below. I am new to this because this trade just happened. I just got the alert, jotted down some notes, came down here and filmed. So let me know what you think because this is very fresh. My ideas and thoughts might change within a few hours now that I think about this a little longer. So just let me know what you think. But I want to thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. It will help you going forward with your fantasy season. Because when news drops, I'll drop my thoughts real quick. Pull the stats so you get that. Also, I'm helping you with waiver wire content, trade content, and all the good stuff all season long. I want to thank you for watching though, and I'll catch you on the next video.